the channel, everyone. Today we're working on my 97 Cummins here, 12 valve. So they do have one factory defect, and that's the killer dowel pin. And if you pick up one of these trucks used off Craigslist, you know, somebody you don't know, and you know you're gonna want to ask them, is the killer dowel pin tabbed? And I bought a few of these trucks, and the answer is always yes, but it's not always done. So if you do get one of these trucks, you're probably gonna want to take it, unless you really trust the guy, you're gonna want to take it apart and tab the killer dowel pin, and that's what I'm gonna show you how to do today. It don't cost hardly any money, and it's not that hard to do. All you gotta do is you gotta buy a timing cover, gasket kit. I don't remember what that costs. It's probably like 20 or 30 bucks. And then you're gonna want to get I got a 5/16 fender washer here. I'm gonna modify to hold the dowel pin in. And what is the killer dowel pin? It's just what it sounds like. It's a dowel pin, and it can come out and kill your motor. It can do a lot of damage to it. There's a bolt right next to it, so all you do is take the fender washer and cover up the dowel pin so it can't slide out. So to do this, now I got the whole front of the truck off here just so it's easier for you guys to see, but you definitely don't have to do this. First thing you want to do is take off your fan shroud. As you can tell, it's not going to come off with your fan on here still, so that's got to come off with the fan. You got 2 bolts down here, and you got 2 bolts over here to hold it to your radiator. Take those off. Then you have the coolant overflow tank and your washer fluid tank. Those come off the same way. I'll go show you guys how to do that. So to get off these tanks off your fan shroud here, you can see there's a little tab in this hole here. Basically this thing slides up and down, and that tab kind of keeps it locked in there. So you just want to take a flathead screwdriver and kind of spread this to where that tab ain't going to catch it. And once you do that, you just tap it up and it'll come right off. Just like that. Okay, so once you got your tank loose, you got your shroud loose, you're going to want to take your fan off. Now the fan has a huge, it's got a big hex here that screws onto the pulley here. The hex is 36 millimeters, and it's reverse thread, so you're gonna have to do what would normally be tightening it to loosen it. The way you do that is you're gonna have to have a 36 millimeter fan wrench. You can get that almost anywhere, or you might even be able to rent one from the auto parts store, I'm not sure. But what you want to do is you want to get that wrench in there, and it's going to be a lot longer than this. This is a tool that I use for an air tool. I'll show you that here in a minute. You're going to have like a long wrench here. You're going to put it on here, and it helps to make your pulley not spin if you put a little bit extra tension on the belt. So I got a ratchet here with a pretty long wrench. I'm going to pull up on that, and that's going to make the belt extra tight. So it might help if you have 2 people to crack this fan loose. But all you do is you hold the belt tight so the pulley can't spin, and you hit the wrench with a hammer, reverse thread, and it should spin right off there. I got a fancy tool here. It's basically the same idea. It's an air hammer, and it slides into this wrench. And when the air hammer it hits pretty hard and it busts at least. It's basically the same idea. But you know, if you don't do this every day, you're probably not going to want to spend money. That's it. Once it cracks loose, it's just going to spin right off. Once the spin's off, you can pull all this out all together. I'm going to go ahead and take the fan pulley and bracket off. You got 4 bolts with a 10mm head. 3 are easy to get to. One's behind the pulley. You got to kind of use a wrench and take it off as you're pulling it off. So we'll do the 3 easy ones first. These 3 bolts. There it is. Now we can get to all the cover bolts. 10mm head on them. You can use whatever you want to take those off. I'm going to use an impact because I have it and it's easy. Got them all off, let's just pull right off. So what you want to do is make this. Just cut off the sides, trim off the bottom. It's pretty easy to make. I just use a cut-off wheel. Once you have that, so once you made that tab, you find this dowel pin right here. You take this bolt out, put your washer you made on there, flip it up so it's covering the dowel, tighten it up. Now the dowel can't come out, and you fix pretty much the only problem that the 12 valve Cummins has. Alright guys, so I'm going back together with my 12 valve. Got my killer dowel pin tabs. I wanted to show you guys this. This is a nice piece here. This is a adjustable injection pump gear. I don't remember exactly who I bought this from. I think it was recommended on the Cummins forum, the guy I got it from. But basically, this does 2 things. Number 1 is the gear is keyed. It comes with a key, and it can't spin on the shaft. I had problems before with other trucks where I think what probably happened is somebody ever tightened the nut in the past before I got it, and you torque the nut on the stock gear and it would come loose, because all it is a taper that holds it on there. There's a key on your shaft, but they don't use it, and there's not a key on your gear. But you get this gear, it has the keyway in there. You can put the key in, it can't slip. It's number 1 nice thing. The second nice thing is it's easy to adjust your time. You don't have to go through the whole cover and get all the equipment out to time it. All you gotta do is you crack all these 6 loose, and then you move this to the next hole, and it advances or retards it 2 degrees each hole. So it makes it real easy. To go along with that, I got the modified timing case. This is a stock timing case I had modified. They put this, they weld this ring on here, and then they bolt this thing on. I can take off these 6 bolts, and I got a nice big hole to get to all this. I can adjust my timing real quickly and easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. When you get your timing case gasket kit, it comes with this little tool here. This is for your crank seal. You want to put that down on your crank seal before you put your timing cover on. Of course, I got my timing cover gasket here. Make sure I got that the right way. It looks like it. And I'll go ahead and try to slide this on. I just got to put all my 10mm head bolts back in. So you got 3 different size bolts. You got short, long, and then you got 2 studs. And if you remember where your crank sensor goes, it gets the studs. So this one goes here. This one, long one, goes in here. It's pretty easy to tell long from short. The short ones, the threads start immediately. You can see them pretty easily. So if it's a deep hole with no threads, it gets a long bolt. If it's a short hole with threads immediately, like this one here, it gets a short bolt. So go ahead and start all these by hand first. we can go ahead and tighten them all up.
Can I do one?
Yeah, here you go. Don't get no better than this, man. Good looking woman doing half the work for you. There, you had your hand in it. Dang, you're gonna need 2 of them? She's an overachiever. She's about ready to leave for work. She want to get a quick wrench in on this thing so she can say she did something to it. Now you got pride in it. Alright, go work. See you later. So I hope you liked my video. That's simple. That's something simple you should do with your truck, whether it's stock or modified. I like to do a lot of modified things myself. So yeah, please subscribe, like, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ready?
Yep.